Take an industry that has no idea what it's doing anymore, add a fractured and increasingly irked customer base, and you have the current absolute state of gaming. Despite my continued love for the medium, things are getting crazy out there.
Turns out, we don't really own the things we buy. Live service games keep failing because everyone's too busy playing live service games. We keep clicking on bananas for some reason. 3 guys can outsell entire corporations, and no one cares about realistic graphics anymore. Until we do.
And then there's Nintendo, quietly getting on with achieving things no one dreamed they could just a decade ago.
The Nintendo Switch has taken the world by storm. Not just the dizzying amount of consoles sold, but it doing the seemingly impossible, bringing every type of gamer together with one reasonably affordable little rectangle.
And it's been like this since the beginning. The Switch came right out of the gate with what some were calling the best video game ever made. It managed to turn a relative flop of a Mario Kart game into the 4th best-selling video game of all time.
And don't forget, Nintendo did all this while being told no one's buying consoles anymore. By the end of 2026, Switch 1 will likely be the best-selling console of all time, all without a price drop. Unbelievable.
The price actually went up.
Yet, before the Switch was announced, it's difficult to overstate how many daggers were pointed at Nintendo.
No, every analyst, every economics expert and industry guru was saying the same thing. Nintendo, stop making consoles and put Mario on other platforms, especially mobile, which is obviously where gaming is headed.
But there's just one problem. They were all wrong. It was all a load of horse shit.
Well, the Switch had tapped into something. A perfect jack of all trades that kept every kind of gamer happy. If you want a casual mobile game, here you go. Want to play the latest little indie gem? Here you go. If you want something deep and rich with lore, here you go.
But it's not like Nintendo had much of a choice. They've been juggling 2 consoles since the 90s, and it just couldn't continue. So the answer was obvious. Do both in one.
A console you could literally pick up and play, but also sit down and lose yourself in. It could be everything you wanted it to be. Go wherever you go. But it wasn't without its problems.
Yeah, the battery always seemed to die mid-shit.
Hell!
What? It did. Drifting Joy-Cons too. Stupid niggling design flaws like the positioning of the charging port. The worst kickstand in history. And battery life so mid it couldn't even last a decent shit.
But it didn't matter. None of it mattered when the red sales line kept getting higher. Nintendo had gone from a laughing stock to, well, everyone had better take stock in just a couple of years.
Fast forward to today and the daggers are out once again and pointed at Nintendo. Eye-watering game and accessory prices for the Switch 2, empty cartridges, ownership concerns, loads of legal shenanigans.
And the kind of moral framework that would make even Microsoft wince and cross its legs.
And yet, the Switch 1 and 2 just keep selling. Despite a string of bad press, Nintendo, on paper, has never been as successful as it is today.
And no one else seems to know how to handle it. It's like everything is being thrown at the wall to see what will stick. The Steam Deck probably wouldn't have happened without Nintendo golden Joy-Con shaped eggs. But let's be honest, it's a cult product, at best. If Microsoft thinks the Xbox Ally is going to have any sort of momentum after the usual day one lunatics are out the way, they've got another think coming.
And then there's the PlayStation Portal.
Yeah.
And Nintendo has patented all these Switch ideas so tightly no one can get close enough to even be called plagiarists.
But Nintendo Switch's best feature is one no one really seems to talk about. None of Nintendo's competitors are even trying.
That doesn't mean anything. Go on.
Remember when we played Breath of the Wild for the first time?
How could I forget?
We took the cart out the box, put it in the Switch, and started to play.
Genius.
No, I mean it. There was no mandatory 16GB patch, no prompt to connect to the internet. Everything was installed on the cart, waiting and ready to go. It's something we took for granted back in the day, but it's so rare now it's pretty much a unique selling point for Nintendo, not including those code-in-the-box games anyway.
Yeah, trust Nintendo to take a unique selling point and turn it into a giant steaming turd.
Where console and handheld gaming is headed? Who knows? Certainly not the gaming industry. And Nintendo exists in a sort of limbo state, bouncing around games and movies and toys in their own little world.
Leaving everyone else thinking, how do they keep doing it? They should have been out of business like 20 years ago.
We really weren't ready for the Switch, and nearly a decade later, people still don't quite know what to do with it. Nothing has come close.
Or maybe we're all just missing the point. Something we learned back in the 90s that still seems to confuse the industry.
What did you learn back in the 90s? 90s.
If you want to play this, you need to buy that. Want to sell that? Give us a damn good reason to buy it. For all the changes in the gaming industry down the years, fundamentally, nothing's changed. And Nintendo seems to be the only ones who still know it. The fact you can take a 3D Zelda game for half a is just a bonus.